All right, Warren, we're rolling. So most everybody that's watching this is going to know about you. I can't imagine them not. But just, man, real quick, give us a quick update on what you've been up to since the last time we chatted and kind of what's going on.
Man, I've been crazy busy. I started my gym, Sing Fitness and Movement, in August 3rd, 2015, and rolled into another project, another company, Athlete Development University. We just launched that, actually. It's been a huge process of getting it going. It's been fun, though. Like I said, all the hours in the day. It's not bad whenever it's what you enjoy.
Oh, absolutely. Well, let's go back to athletes development here in a second. But first, because I have a little bit more inside scoop, tell me what the big transition was for you in this last year. Tell everybody what was going on.
Man. Okay, yeah. Man, I was, doing my own thing and kind of contracting out of gyms, running more of the service side of things, doing things more nationally. And I never wanted to own a gym, never wanted the nut and bolts and have the overhead and, everything that went with that. And then the stars aligned, the planets aligned, all the suns in the solar system aligned. I had to jump on it. And I didn't know what it was going to come out to be. My first thought was a little studio, and it got a little bigger. And then, what I wanted it to be required a little bit more of adjustment. And before I knew it, it's 9,000 square feet. It's a hybrid between a fitness facility and a studio and a sports training studio. And the reason why I did that is, as far as the business sense, was how do I get people to be able to do workouts other than just through training as well? So what we teach, would they go to another gym here in town, or how would it work? So luckily, we're able to figure out an awesome layout of the gym. Again, I didn't know what it was going to come to be. We worked hard on the logo, all that stuff, the layout, the systemized. Yeah, there it is. The way I did the layout was systemized to not feel like a typical gym that you go to. It was really important to me that it didn't have that feel. The wow factor. When someone walked in, they're like, I want them to go to other places and shop. And then that way they could compare us and see the difference. So it turned out huge, bigger than I thought it would be. Within, just put it this way, what usually takes about 2 years happened in about 5 months. And it's growing. So.
And we're in the Platinum Mastermind group together, so I've been privy to a lot of this growth and watching you. So you're being very humble. The reason it's taken 5 months rather than 2 years is because you've been busting your butt, man. Yeah. And doing all the right things.
I didn't say I didn't do 2 years of work.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, it's in the next step, I do want to make it go either franchise or licensing. So I'm working on the systemization and documentation and all that to duplicate. So that's another project, on top of the one I just did. So.
And about six others that I know about that we may or may not have time to talk about today. Well, that's one of the things that I've always thought was really cool about you, Warren, and the time that we've known each other is you have that kind of hybrid model, in my opinion. And maybe it's not a model, but you're a fitness professional and you're extremely well versed as a strength coach and a trainer. I mean, anatomy, physiology, exercise science. But you're also a hustler and a grinder and a businessman. So you have usually often in our industry, you see the business guy or you see the professional, the person that's really into anatomy, physiology, and those worlds very rarely collide. So it's really cool to see, when it does collide, how much success you actually have. That's really awesome.
And actually how that happened, man, is I think I've told you the story before, but for my first 5 or 6 years in this profession, I didn't know anything about business. The same ethic I have on developing business was about learning. Mm-hmm. And I never really had the confidence in myself. So learn about one area, and then I wouldn't feel I was sufficient enough. So then I'll get another certification or a degree or whatnot. Wouldn't feel like I was good enough, and I just kept on going. And I really drove hard because I believed through all the marketing and all the fluff and all that, it comes down to the root, what it is, and that wins, in the long run. So, and then I got introduced to the wonderful world of marketing and PR and media and video and all that stuff. I loved it because it's something new to learn. I couldn't find anything else to get certified in or read in this far side of science, so it's overwhelming with the business side of things. I'm still learning. I mean, I think I'm maybe 2% into it,
That's a huge 2%, man. And it's a perfect segue because you are killing it on Facebook, in my opinion. So from what I've seen, and as a marketer, I don't say that very often. So it's been awesome to see you growing with in fact, just before we jumped on this video call, I saw yet another video from Sync Fitness coming out there. So give us, so somebody that's watching, first of all, it's inspiring. Anybody that's watching this has got to know, like, hey, I'm never going to get there. It's taking forever. I'm not natural, but you just prove that you can just grind it out, put your head down, and kind of like a snowball effect, really. You get the end result from doing that to doing certifications, books, shows. I mean, you've been all over the place, man. And so it's not like you're just some guy that started a gym. So. Yeah. Absolutely.
And that's, anybody listening, that's, I think the biggest thing in growth as you go through your life is facing your fears. Because I remember my first speech class, man, I would skip class because I did not want to, just a small class, I didn't even want to stand in front of them, and to face those fears, and it makes you push harder. So you actually become really good at it because you have to, at the beginning, try so hard to get over it, So I just encourage anybody, if you have a fear, have that on your to-do list to knock it out and just grind at it, and you'll just see it just switches.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I always say that, if you have a fear and then once you overcome it, it's kind of like working out. It becomes easier and easier and easier to push through those fears, and it almost gets addicting. That you have to do it now because you get that high off conquering your own fears. Not that they ever
or you're scared that if you stop for a while, then they come back. So doing it because you don't want to lose it.
Totally. Let's go back and talk about, and this is something you and I always talk about, but or at least I always give you credit and I always want to know your secrets, is to your Facebook advertising. Tell everybody kind of, if you don't mind sharing some of your secrets. You don't have to open up the whole curtain. And real quick, before we go there, where are you based? So if anybody's watching this and they want to come to your gym, where are you?
The fast pace, and you can tell with my accent, fast talking, Arkansas.
Except people are going to have to adjust the speed. Here I am in California having coffee. You're in the late afternoon in Arkansas.
Yeah, if you speed it up, I'll sound normal. You'll sound like a chipmunk.
Exactly. I probably already do, but let's go back. So seriously, your Facebook marketing is awesome. And, a lot of people will talk about, I can't get clients, or I can't grow my business, or Facebook marketing doesn't work. I hear this. I mean, at least once a week I get an email or somebody asking me a question about, does this really work? How has it worked for you, and what have you been doing?
Anybody could get to where it does work, and I think a lot of people, they look at it wrong. As far as the base goes, video is where it's at. So how do you get good at video? The ads and, how you do all that, how do you get good at that, what to do? And the number one thing is you have to learn from people that are the experts. I mean, you can't just get on there and go, I'm going to be really good at video and just make it up on my own. There's a lot of certain things from lighting, angles, stuff like that. I've gotten to know certain people that I've learned from, and I didn't just figure it out all on my own, And then the marketing side of things using Facebook, it's tests, like on a website when you do split tests, you do the same thing on Facebook. I mean, you can't just go and wish and sit there and cross your fingers every day. What's the definition of insanity? Doing the same thing over and over again, just hoping it all of a sudden it works. So you have to keep on making those adjustments. And geographically, it's different in different areas. When people get up, when people go to work, what kind of jobs are around there. So, the time that you do the post, what day of the week that you do post, those all matter tons. And there's times and days I won't do important material that in the aspect of trying to push a sell on something or a service that I'm trying to promote. And I'll have certain videos or pictures that is my gap fillers, I guess you would say, like quotes and stuff like that. And another thing is too many people get into how many likes do I get or how many views and stuff like that. And that really doesn't matter. I mean, of course, if you got 0 views, it would, but it's who is viewing your videos. So Facebook gives I think it's the most powerful tool, is to be able to work on getting the people you need to view it, and through video as well. You just got to find the excellence. One of my good friends, Chris, he's Pixel Mob. He does video, and he's wonderful. He's just coming out with something to teach you to do it on your iPhone. It's out there. You just have to learn and then just grind at it. It didn't happen overnight. It's a building process.
So, Warren, do you have a full content calendar, or how far are you planning out your content that you're posting on social media in advance?
Well, I did, and it's all up in my head now on how I, just like when I design workouts, all that. After you do it for just repetitively over and over again, it almost becomes automatic. I don't like to do automated stuff with Facebook. I like to have 100% control over it. But it kind of goes with, I have exercise demos. It might be a service because I'm always doing new projects. So I got a lot.
Yes, you are.
Doing new material out there. Stuff like that, and I just cycle through them. It's kind of the feel of the day. With video, you might have an awesome class that you're about to have. But why not video? It's happening anyway. So you always have your phone with you. So videoing of testimonials, stuff like that. Just do stuff in the normal day. I think that's why Snapchat's gotten really big. I'm horrible at it. I'm actually having my youth clients teach me about it.
There you go. Get the experts, like you said.
Yeah, they're the experts. They understand the way these people get on there, what they're looking at. So I'm just gathering all their information and trying to figure it out because I know it's powerful. So I'm just, again, just use experts.
So obviously you're systematizing this because you're systematizing your business model as you're going through this. Are you effectively getting your trainers to do the recording at this point, or is this all you right now?
It's my trainers too, but this is, I think, a lot of problem with people that can't get the Facebook right or any of the marketing and social media is it takes consistency. Mm-hmm. You can't do a good video and then not do it for a week. It's got to be part of your daily routine as a business. When we get up, we have our things that we're going to do in the day for your business. It has to be part of it. So if it's going to be a part of it, if you want it to benefit you. So I'm teaching them consistency. They know how to do, I taught them all the components. Now they got to get consistent.
So now I can hear everybody thinking right now that's watching this or listening to this in their car, when does Warren's Facebook video class come out?
Yeah.
Just add that to your list.
Yeah, I know. Now you're making me think about other projects.
Yeah, exactly. The true entrepreneur, right? Shiny new object,
Yeah.
shiny new object. Yeah. The thing is, you knock them out pretty quickly, which is great. So, with that, would you say on a scale, I like to use the scale of 1 to 5 because I think 10 is too big for most people. But on a scale of 1 to 5, 5 being the most effective, how effective do you think Facebook in particular, because I know that's the channel you're going after, how effective do you think that's been in your marketing for your business?
4.8.
Room for improvement.
Yeah, always room for improvement, and it should, that 1 to 5 is probably, will go to a 10. So again, it's about what is Facebook doing for you. So it's not, if you're in it just to get views, and that's as far as you want it to be, then it's probably not going to help your business as much, and that's why you don't get the return on it. So you got to figure out what's causing it not to work as well. So when people come in, it's one of the first things I ask. I say, how do you hear about us? Oh, I follow you on Facebook. What is a phone? It's like those tribes that we try to get.
Yep.
So those tribes, they're kind of like referrals, especially in a local environment. They have a friend that has a friend, and they see the feeds and stuff like that when you promote them. So if you have a really big, diverse tribe on your market, my market's everyone. I don't try to just go for youth athlete. I'm going for body transformation, joint health people, the full spectrum of things. So we get all kinds coming in.
Well, and that speaks to another point, Warren, for you, is you're using the Facebook effectively to market to people, but you're providing the value once those people actually get into your gym. So they're actually, can you talk a little bit about that, kind of what you're doing on that front? I know you're doing a ton of youth athletes as well.
Yeah, that's a game changer, because you could be really good at getting people in the door. If you don't have the value, that's where I think the way I started in the industry, I built my own program foundation, in the base that how do I prevent someone from ever leaving? So all my certifications and my knowledge was based on covering objections, I guess is what you equal to in sales. So I found out why someone would leave, and that, for example, it might be because I couldn't stick with a diet. So I said, okay, I want to learn about just the pure science of law of thermodynamics, nutrition and aspect, and in psychology, why do people get on and off of diets? So when you start understanding the psychology of how people think, the real science, and you design your nutrition plan so the longevity happens. So instead of just giving nutrition menus, in the program we also evolved to teaching them when they get burned out what to do, so instead of them leaving. So the same thing on workouts, on knee pain. So that's why I got into human movement and all that stuff and corrective exercises. I didn't want people to stop coming to me because they started feeling pain. Hey, that's part of the service, so they stay a long time. So just make sure you have a good foundation in service. When people come in, again, that goes back to the Facebook, is that they'll turn people onto your Facebook based off of what they're getting out of here, because everyone knows someone else with one of those problems.
Oh, yeah.
And they might be in here, but they might say, oh, they take care of that. I know Susie that has that issue, or has a son, that needs to get faster, or he has Tommy John syndrome, all those things. So they bring him in. I mean, pretty much it's simple to it. It's a referral basis, like a tribe.
Awesome, man. I know you've really killed it. To say you've killed it with that is an understatement. So, I mean, that's really huge. And I think a lot of people need to remember that because they go after just the marketing maybe and forget the fact that they actually need to, once you serve your clients and do a great job as a fit pro, like you have, they'll actually stick around. And that's the biggest thing.
You have to have strategies for that. It just doesn't happen. Again, a crossing the fingers thing. People do things because of value. They don't do it just because they like you. They like a lot of people. So they have to see a value in why they would need to stay.
Sure. Well, it's a financial and emotional investment, right? They're taking their time and their energy and their money to be with you. So they need to see some sort of result and move forward in a way that makes them feel good.
Yeah, life isn't the same. It always evolves. So their situations evolve. The reasoning evolves. The perception of you and what they really need evolves. So you got to be able to adjust all that.
So as a future franchisee myself, do I get all this information from you?
Yes, yes, every bit of it. That's the main thing is if you're getting a franchise is not just the logos and the layout and all that, is how to succeed, above the status quo. Everyone's out for that. So that's going to be a very important part. Oh, I forgot to mention, in the gym, the way I set it up with the employees is also a career development stages for the trainers. So instead of just having trainers here, they have certain stages, year 1 through 3, 4 through 6, to a certain point where I'll help them financially. And at the very end, they go through business classes, stuff like that, to get a franchise. So I have a system built up to teach people how to build a career of those young fitness trainers, to get them to a point really fast as we can, to actually go out on their own. Because ultimately, no one wants to, most people, I don't want anybody in my facility that wants to work for someone for all their lives.
Yeah.
So you get them to a point where they see that incentive to go out on their own, and they have all the full support.
Excellent. And everybody watching, I'll be giving out Warren's cell phone number so you guys can start applying for a small fee. I have a feeling people are going to be flooding in. I know you have a great system that's over there. That's really cool. I don't know too many business owners in the fitness industry that approach it like that. What made you come to that idea that you wanted to develop your staff and move them on, rather than the typical model, which is keep them as much as you can and slowly incentivize them a little bit, which seems to be what's been going on since the 80s?
Yeah, because it was done to me. And entrepreneurs don't want that. People that just want to work, maybe. As you get into it, if you have this ceiling, for me, I had the ceiling put on me by, this boss that was just crazy, pretty much. And my whole incentive was going to be, you're going to be my employee, So that drove me. That was another incentive to get all these certifications and learn and build my base so big that I had a lot of pull in a facility where I didn't depend on a gym bringing members in. I was bringing them in weekly out of the gym in. So my value goes up when I become the person bringing members in constantly, not just for a week, but for year after year, week after week. I would bring in 1 to 2 people. For a small gym,
huge.
That's huge. So I got to a point where I'd have 100 people, easy. And then another 200 that weren't really probably training with me, but there were members there, but they were followers of me.
Yeah.
So it was easy for me to start getting a little leverage in there. So an entrepreneur, that's their main mission, is to eventually be on their own. They don't, again, want to work for someone. So that's pretty much where it came from. I just through my own experiences. I wouldn't want to be make another trainer feel like I did, being restricted, feeling not, my opinion mattered as much, stuff like that.
Very cool, man. I think that's an awesome model. It's something that anybody watching this should at least reach out to you and learn more about.
And it's hard to do. I'm not saying that it's like a breeze. But, I think it's working. I've gone through a couple employees, but I have some now that are they're running with it. I mean, it's amazing when you give that opportunity. The things like one of my trainers developed his own system of program, and that's what I wanted. I wanted that talent to start coming out, and he branded a name, and he actually calls it Kettlenomics, and but he uses progressive systems within that program. So that if he was never given the opportunity, it probably would never happen.
That's cool. You're giving them the canvas to paint on and the permission to paint, so to speak.
Yeah.
Really cool, man. Most people never get that opportunity. That's awesome. That's a legacy above and beyond the business even. So let's circle back to what you mentioned at the beginning of this conversation about your academy that you got going on. What's that all about?
Yeah, man. As you know, a while back I did that video for the cheerleading market, because these kids, they're just not taken care of as far as injury goes. And there's just a lack of the knowledge of performance and injury prevention in that market. So we did a little DVD video of core development and a little bit of corrective exercise. This is more about core. And then it manifested to this. Before I knew it, I was getting called from a couple of my partners going, hey, we found, how about this, we start doing assessments for, these athletes. And then it became, let's have solutions, because no one has that. And then it came together that, hey, why don't we use the highest level technologies? Because that's one thing that's really going through the roof right now. And I would say month to month, there's going to be new technology coming out in fitness. I mean, next year, I don't think we could really fathom what is going to be out there. So ours is really cool. I mean, I've been in the industry for over 15 years, and I still feel like a kid when I get to play with it and see what it is. It's amazing, and it uses the 3D technology. But I'm not going to give all the inner workings of it.
I know.
Pretty much it's from not just with the athlete, but to the coach and the parent, all the way to the full solution to the very end, as if you hired a very high-level strength coach, knowledgeable person, and you just put them right in front of that kid into the home. So there's a huge need for it. First, you got to find when you start a business, and then positioning and making sure that longevity is there. So we made sure all that's there before we went with it, and it's there, and it's rolling now. So
awesome.
Every day. Yeah.
So when can I was privy to a little bit more information that you were able to share with me, but when do you think, by the end of this year, will people that are watching this going to be able to circle back and learn a little bit more about this program?
Yep. You go to our website, and the one truly branded innovation is going to be helping me with that website. It's not like at this moment, it's not to par, but it's athletedevelopmentu.com. At our Facebook page, that's the main one where I'll be doing posts daily about that and education, so forth. It's Athlete Development University.
Okay.
Or the Facebook page.
We'll make sure to put that in the notes in here in the comments so people can go there and check it out for when this actually comes live online. Make sure they get that.
Awesome.
Warren, switching it around totally, family and fun. What does Warren do on the weekends?
Man, I have a 5-year-old, a 14-year-old. My favorite thing is just to be with my family. I mean, what we're doing, as long as the wife's happy, she'll tell me, I want to go and do this, we go, you know. When there's good movies on with my 5-year-old, he loves all the superheroes. You know, right now it's getting warmer here, so he likes soccer, so kick. Have to do the swing pushing, all the fun stuff. I know he's growing up now, so I'm like, gosh, man, I'm not going to have any little ones anymore. And the teenager, it's a whole new task for me that I have to learn. I have never experienced raising a teenager. This is the first time, so very interesting.
Yeah, we are recording this.
But so if anybody wants to give me advice, no, he's awesome. But it is all new to me because I was a teenager once. So
yeah.
It's like, please don't be like me. No. But you know, same thing. I like to travel, but because with all these new projects, actually this summer we are going to be pretty much traveling every weekend somewhere. My wife's from Guam, so she's getting to go to Guam to visit family there. I don't get to go. And when she gets back, we'll be on the road going to events and promoting the new business to these clinics.
Awesome, man. And so, Warren, I know you're tight on time, but can you stay after for some bonus time for our other members?
Yeah, awesome, man. Yeah.
Okay, great. But before we do that, let's let everybody know that's watching this, you know, where to find you, your gym, and your websites. I know there's a lot of them, but give us the information.
Let me get the list. As far as Sync Fitness, it's syncfitnessandmovement.com. We're in Conway, Arkansas. Stay tuned whenever we get to the point where we're able to do franchising. That'll be launched. It'll be all through their Facebook page again. That's where the bread and butter is on that. It's Sync Fitness and Movement LLC. Check that out. Follow it. I try to post from not just promoting the gym, but I try to post some exercises, education materials. If we do seminars, I put it on there as well.
I got to stop you right there real quick, Warren, just because I got to tell everybody, our Platinum Mastermind group has some of the highest level trainers, and we always talk about some of the exercises that you end up putting up on there because they're so creative and versatile. So any Fit Pros watching this, definitely check it out. And even if you're just an exercise enthusiast, Warren's got some great stuff on there.
Yeah, thanks, man.
Yeah.
And then for the Athlete Development University, it's athletedevelopmentu.com, and then the Facebook page is Athlete Development University. Check that out too, like that. There are going to be two different, the athlete development is going to be more just about athletes. My gym one is athletes, but I just like you said, I'm always trying to think of new ways of doing exercise that is actual, not just exercise, like, it's going to have a purpose. So, check that out. There'll be a lot of great info on there as well.
Awesome. Thanks again, Warren. Stick around, and we're going to go into overtime.